Hey everybody, I'm glad you stopped by. I've got something fun to show you today. Hang on just a second. I hope you have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea and you're going to join me. Today I'm going to show you the very first kit that the Digi chicks and I have put together for you, that you'll be able to purchase at a very, very reasonable price. You'll get all the pieces you need to make this super cute card. The first one I'm going to show you has the word hug with it. There's a second one that will be coming soon in this same video and in the same download that has mom for Mother's Day if you want to do that. So look down here and let me show you some of the stuff you're going to get with this kit. Okay, as I said, here's the one that says hug on it. So you're going to get this little sentiment here that says, sometimes all you need, is a hug. So you're going to get this piece. And inside here, there's a poem or a little, I should call it just a sentiment here that says, I've made a little bookmark and it's put in this card for you because you're someone special and nothing less would do. So then you're going to get this little pocket that you can put in here and the bookmark files with flowers and bows and all kinds of different things that you can embellish this thing with. Okay, it goes right back in there like that. Then you're also going to get, now not this, I'll show you how to make this bow in a separate video, but you are going to get bows and I'll show you those in a sec. Also going to get these little flowers that you can embellish with. Tons of butterflies. Another sentiment that's really extra special about hugs. And then one that says you are loved and some more flowers. And then the back piece is plain like this so you can write some more sentiment. So let me bring up here now this little thing. I learned this from the Digi chick Linda, and she showed me how you can keep your things organized while you're working. So of course you're going to get these 3 pages. They are print and cut, and they will work in both your Cricut and your Silhouette, and I'll show you how to do that. And then you can either put it together with brads or staples or ribbon by poking a hole in here, whatever you'd like. And it's sort of like a little book. But here are all the parts you're going to get. Check this out. All of these little things. Here are tons and tons of flowers. These are some little rings. And here's a bunch of hearts, all different sizes of hearts. These come out beautifully as print and cuts. Some more different types of flowers. And some more flowers, all different colors. I really like the green one, and I actually pretty much like the gold one too. Different sizes and different colors of flowers. Also in the kit, you will get bows, several different colors of bows. I just have the pink here right now. And that, remember I told you originally you could put a bow on here that comes in the kit. The green one maybe, or the pink one, whichever one you like. Okay, then you're going to get all the sentiments. Here are some that are, this one says sometimes all you need is this one's flutter by with love. Different sentiments. Some more really cool shaped flowers. And some leaves over here. This is part of the, oh, I don't have all the butterflies in here either. There's more than this that you guys are going to get. The butterflies aren't in here. Where did I put all my butterflies? Let's see if they're in here. Nope. Okay, well, you'll get a bunch of butterflies too, and you'll see them on my screen in just a minute. And then you also get some more sentiments. And this is what the envelope looks like. Okay. Some more sentiments like this. And even this round one that's really super cute. And this one says, a mother is like a flower, beautiful and unique. And then these are the tags. You'll get different colors for the tags. You can make it double-sided. simply gluing it together as I had done on mine. And then this sweet little bow with a ribbon attached. Let's see, where does this go? There. A sweet little bow with a ribbon attached. So now that you've seen all these parts, and these can go on either the hug card or the mom card, I'm going to show you how to use these files in both Silhouette first and then Cricut. Down below, I'll have a timestamp for you people that are using Cricut, so you can zip right ahead to the Cricut part. Okay, I'm going to show you first with Silhouette. The technique is pretty much the same for both, but just a little bit of a tweak here or there. So I've already downloaded and I opened it, or I extracted the file. Now I'm going to come up here to File and Open, and I'm going to find the extracted files, and they're right here, and I'm going to do the hug base. Now notice there are 3 files in the hug base. This one says it's for Cricut. This one obviously is a Silhouette file. So I'm going to double click on that to open it, and it opens just like this. Now if you'll notice, the name of this file says that the final size of the card is 8.5 by 3.5. Well, somehow these got a little bit messed up right here. I'm going to make sure that everything is centered properly. Whoopsie. Okay. So let's see. We have 8.499 and 3.488. Actually, I could just leave those like that and use them. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on these things and say ungroup. And then since I'm using my portrait, or if you're using a regular Cameo, you still probably will be using the 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper, because that's more than likely what your printer will print. So go ahead and make your page size by coming up here to letter, or 8.5 by 11. Again, I'm using my portrait, but you may need to change yours to Cameo for your machine and your cutting mat to Cameo. But I'm going to leave mine on portrait, but I will make this letter size. I did put on the cut border to make sure I don't go outside of that with my print and cut. Okay, so I've already taken these apart, so I happen to know that I can do these two together at one time. So all I need to do now with these two is come up here to File and Print, and say Print. And to my preferences, the way my machine or my printer works, I can change it, whoops, not that. I can change the quality from standard to high, which is what I usually do. I would say okay, and then I'll print it, and I'll show you in a little bit what I get. So after that's done, then I move these off to the right because I'm finished with these two, and I'll do this one. And I'm going to rotate it because it really won't fit between those cut lines. So I'll just rotate it like this, hold down my shift key so it'll rotate straight, go like this. Again, I have my registration marks on just like I had before. So I'll come up here to File and Print, and again, Print, change my preferences if I need to. Say OK once I put it on high, and I'll print it. But I've already printed this, so I'll show you what I get in a moment. Okay, so let's imagine I want to use some other little things. So let's go to File and Open, and let's see what else we have up here in this same folder. So in this folder, we've already extracted these. So we have embellishments and the hug base, that's what I was using. If I click on the embellishments folder, you'll see there's different papers I have. There's the cute little pocket, there are sentiments, and there's that bookmark that goes in the pocket, along with butterflies, bows, flowers, and sequins. So I think I'll start off with the pocket. Just double click on that to open it, and open this. Now, if you'll notice, it comes in way too big. It's not going to fit on my mat. This is what you need to remember to do, both for Cricut Design Space and Silhouette. You're going to leave everything grouped together the way it comes in, and look up here in the name. It says the size is 6.292. So while this is all still grouped together, I'm going to make sure the lock is locked, and I'm going to make the width. That's the only thing I ever change, is the width. As long as the lock is locked, it will change perfectly. So how do I remember what to change the width to? look up here in the name of the file. So I'm going to change it to 6.292 and hit enter. And now that's perfect, just like that. Now for this program, for me to do a print then cut, again, I'll need to come up here to the page setup panel here, turn on my registration marks right here. There they are. Make sure that my stuff is fitting within those registration marks. The other thing that, remember, I told you I like to turn on are the cut marks. So let's go back to this first icon here, the page setup, and come down here to the bottom where it says show cut border. So what that allows me to do is to make sure that nothing is going outside. Like, notice this right here now is going outside of the cut border. It wouldn't cut right. The butterfly's wing would be cut off. So I want to take this whole thing and move it inside. And I don't really want it to go over this checkerboard look or those lines. So this is ready to go then. I would go to File and Print. And I will go ahead and print this one because I could use an extra set. Print. So again, I would just check my preferences and they're just the way I left them. So I'll say Print. And that will begin printing, and I'll bring it back over here and show you how I work with that next. Okay, as you can see, this is the hug that I went ahead and printed off. They're separate sheets right now. I can leave them separate like this while I work on them. After that, I can simply take a hole punch if I want to, measure over an inch in and an inch in perhaps, and maybe a quarter of an inch, and make my little poked holes if I want to tie a bow here or something like that, or if I want to use little brads, or the things that I had used on mine. It's over there right now, but you saw it in the beginning. So after I did this then, the next thing that I do is I printed this, remember, just now. And I'm going to put this on my mat. I put the square up in the upper left-hand corner of my silhouette mat. Now make sure that this, since this is 8.5 by 11, that I measure it up to this little line that they give you right here. So I'm going to make sure that's right up to that line and straight across here. Then I'll just kind of nicely, gently pat it down. And up here at my silhouette software, I'll say send. And I happen to know for mine, because I've already done it, that I use the cardstock textured heavy, and I up my blade depth and I slow the speed down, maybe there, and the force down a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this, and I'll meet you back here to show you how to put the pocket together. Okay, here's a finished pocket right here so you can see what it's like. And actually in there I was saving all my extra butterflies that I had made before. They're in this little pocket. So to make the pocket, all you do is take this piece, which is the pocket, right here. If you want to make a score line, you can, but it's not really necessary. As long as you fold that right there and make sure that these pieces are coming up nice and straight with each other. That's fine, just like that. Then the next thing you'll do is you'll fold this piece in so that it goes up, if you can see, so that the fold is right here. So it goes straight across there perfectly like that. So score lines aren't really necessary at all. And then this one right here, you will fold in until it meets this place right here. So, and then the top, make sure that the top is nice and, straight across here. And just fold it like that with your fingers or your bone folder, whatever you have. Okay. So then all you have to do is glue these pieces together like this and like that. And this pocket is just about done. You'll just glue this white piece on next, and then this piece on here, and I forget which way this goes. So what I will do is I'll make sure, I want my butterfly to be upright, and he fits in here kind of cool. Let's see, which way do I want it to go? Not like that. Okay, so I'll put this on here next. Actually, I'd probably do these together first and then bring my butterfly and just, I could do that and just rotate him around to wherever I see that he fits nicely. And it's just like that. You can see he oopsie, he fits in there perfectly. If I move the white from underneath, maybe, if I can, you'll be able to see how he fits in there nicely like that. If you have them well done. So that's all you do for the pocket, and then you just glue it inside of your card. So let's continue on. Okay, decided that maybe you really want to know where to put the glue on this thing in case you're brand new to making cards. Remember, I folded in these two parts. So what I would do then is just open this back up, and I'm going to put glue here or tape. Either one would work. I could use my tape gun like this, or I could use my art glitter glue here. So you're going to put the tape or the or the glitter glue right on the right side, which might seem a little bit weird. Let me get that extra glue off of there. Okay. So then I would simply just fold this in and fold this in like that, and then fold this piece down so that it all just makes a nice little pocket, which you'll see in a sec. So there's a nice little pocket like that. And into this pocket, I'm going to put my bookmark that I make like this. Okay. Along with the sentiment that tells about the bookmark. But before I do that, of course, I might want to go ahead and, put this on here. And, you know, this is, if you're new, I'm sure this is pretty self-explanatory for those of you who have been making cards for a bit. But isn't this the cutest ever? I just love this card. And there's so many uses for it, as I say. You could send a hug, you know, for somebody if it's their birthday. If they just need a hug because they need a little bit of uplifting. Even if there was a death or something like that. Okay, now I should have figured out where my butterfly went first before I put this down, because I'm afraid I really didn't take that into consideration. So he may not be going the way I want him to go. Oh, I got lucky. Look at that. So again, and if I wanted to, I could pop dot him up. This card you can put a lot of dimensionals on because of the way it stands up. It's really super cute. There we go. Beautiful. So then this one right here, of course, I could put it anywhere I wanted to. Maybe if I wanted to put it on this U space here, I could put it there, put some butterflies around it or some flowers. And then what I would probably want to use is, where is it? Oh no. I don't think I printed off another one, but I can show you up here on my screen. If we go back to Silhouette, I'll go to File and Merge. And I'm going to go up to the sentiments, and I'll open this sentiment file, because what I would probably want to put on there is this sentiment right here. Isn't that cute? I've made a little bookmark and put it in this card for you because you're someone special and nothing less would do. Made a little bookmark. Isn't that cute? And that could go right here, along with a lot of other embellishments that you get with this kit. And of course, here's this one that I used on my sample right here. Sometimes all you need, and I put that right here at the very beginning, right here at fit. Okay, sometimes all you need is a hug. Okay, to wrap up the stuff for Silhouette Studio, I'm just going to show you one or two more files, what you would do with them so you are sure you get the hang of it. So let's go to File and Open, and let's go to something else. We'll go to the bookmark, okay? And maybe you want to make the bookmark, which I think is super duper cute. Look at all these elements that you're going to get. All these super bows and flowers. Now, you need to remember in both Silhouette and in Cricut Design Space, when these images come in, you want to resize them. How do you know which size? It's in the title. So if you look up here again at the top, the left-hand corner in Silhouette, it's 6.204. So I would click on this to highlight it, lock this lock, and go to, what is it? Oh, I don't remember. Oh, just look right up here. 6.204 and hit enter. And that automatically makes both things the right size. The next thing I would do is to make sure I come over here and change these if I need to, depending on which machine I'm using. And if I'm using letter size paper, then I remember to turn on the registration marks, because if I don't, it won't work as a print then cut. And do recall also that I like to add in my show cut border to make sure that nothing is outside of the cut border and I don't realize it. So there's that one. I'll go to File and we'll open one more. Let's say we're going to do this page of butterflies, because we want to put a lot of butterflies on ours. Again, we need to resize it. We need to come up here, look what size it is, 4.456. Lock the lock, change the width to 4.456 and hit enter. So then those are the right size. Again, check these, show my cut border, come up here and turn on my registration marks. Then all I have to do is make sure that these things aren't hanging outside of the cut border and they're not over that hash mark stuff. And then I would just go to File and Print. And remember now, once you've printed these things, you cannot go, let's say I printed this. I can't come back in here after I printed it and change these a little bit and think that it's still going to cut properly, because my machine thinks that if they were left exactly where they were printed with these registration marks. So once you print something, you cannot move this until you cut them. Okay, if you want to see how they're going to cut, just go to Send, and here this says cut. Sometimes you want to highlight these and say cut edge, so you just get the edges of the things. Let's go back and see what this looked like. The bookmarks, if we go to Send, okay, again, this is perfect. It's cutting the edge. But if I needed to, I could say cut edge like that and it would still be perfect. Okay, so that's pretty much it for Silhouette. I think that this is a fabulous, fabulous kit. I think you guys would absolutely love making this. Some of us love to use Nuvo drops, so we added some Nuvo drops. So I said I added this fancy little ribbon, but I could have gotten the bow right out of all these embellishments that you get in the kit. I could have just put this little bow on here. And if you happen to notice, you do get a green one and I think a gold one as well. So I could have put that on there just as easily. Again, here's the bookmark little poem. Here's the bookmark finished. Here's the little pocket for it. And I've added some of those flowers and I put Nuvo drops on the top of the flowers. I don't know if you can see that or not. And there's another poem, some more butterflies, and some more Nuvo drops. And back here is where I'm going to write my sentiment. Oh, and the other really cool thing is this stands really nicely up like this on a table or something like that. So, okay, let's go on to Cricut Design Space now. Okay, so here we are in Cricut Design Space. I've already downloaded the zip files and I've already extracted them, so I'm ready to go. So I would just open Cricut and go to Upload, Upload an Image, Browse. I'll look for that same card just so you can get the idea. So you won't find it like what I'm looking at, but yours will look a little bit different than this. But let's see, I will go here and I'll get the hug base. Now this time I want to get the one that says it's for Cricut. Notice it's a PNG file. So I'm going to open that and say open. And it looks great. I'll say complex and continue. And it's coming in perfectly, as you can see right here. So I'll say continue. Then you can see the way it's going to cut over here, but of course I want it to be a print then cut. So I'm going to click on print then cut and say upload. So now it's been uploaded, so I'll click this and I'll say insert the image over here on the bottom right hand corner. And it inserts it just like that beautifully. However, notice this little sign right here. That tells us that this is too big for print then cut altogether. So the first thing I'm going to do though, before I do anything else ever, is I'm going to resize the thing that's all hooked together, all grouped together. How do I know what size to make it? Well, it's really easy in Silhouette because it tells us right here that you want the width of this thing to be 8.5 inches. So I'm going to make sure the lock is locked, and it always opens locked in Cricut Design Space. And I'm going to make the width 8.5 and hit enter. Okay, so that made everything the size I needed. But look, that little warning sign is still there saying it's not compatible because of the size, right? So the way we fix that in Cricut Design Space is easy peasy. Hopefully you've been learning about the slice tool. All you have to do is come over here to the shape tool over here on the left hand side, click on that and get a square. And then the first thing I'm going to do is unlock this lock right here so that I can stretch this square however I'd like to stretch it. So I'm just going to bring it down and get this one, stretch it so it goes all the way over that. I don't want it to get the U, so I'm going to move it down a bit like that. Now, I have two things. I have two layers, right? And you know from the past, if you have two and only two layers selected in Cricut Design Space, you can slice. So I'm going to select both those layers. You can see how they're both selected now. Over here on the right, I'm going to hit the word slice down here at the bottom. That's going to let me take this black or dark piece off and exit out, and this one and exit out. And now we have this one piece that's fine, that will work just by itself. However, these two guys together are still too big. Let's see, I wonder why. Oh, it's too wide. Did you see that? It's 6.893 wide. So depending on what images you're using and how you slice, you may or may not have to do it twice. In this case, I'm going to have to do it twice. So I'm going to get a shape again, come over here to the square, and unlock the lock. And this time I'll just come up here and make sure I cover all of the H. When that's all covered, I'll select that. So now there are two things selected. 1, 2. To slice, you can only have two things, and you must have two things selected. So I'm going to say slice. So now I can get rid of this dark piece and this dark piece. And now you'll notice there are no more warnings over here. So I can simply say make it. And it's going to put these pieces on separate ones. So I would notice it says I'm going to print first. So yes. Sometimes people say, well, dang, I didn't know I was going to have a printer to do this. Yes, for print then cut, you have to have a printer. So you'll print this first to your printer. Okay, if you go to continue, it's going to say send to printer. So at that point, I would say send it to my printer. I only want one copy. And I would tell it which one of my printers I was going to use. Everybody always asks what printers I have. You can see which ones I have right here if you want to get a copy of that. Okay, and I would print this, and then I would do the cut just like you know how to do for print then cut, I would think. So I'll cancel that one. Am I sure? Yes, I want to cancel it. I'm going to cancel. So that's all you have to do for Hug, and it would be ready to print and cut just like that. So let's delete that. And by the way, I noticed that this U is a little bit transparent, but don't worry about that. It prints perfectly and cuts perfectly. All right, delete. So let's try another one. Let's upload an image, browse. Let's go to this, and I'll go into embellishments this time, I guess. Let's go this time to, well, I'll do the pocket again. All right, there's the pocket. I'm going to say open it. Here it comes in just like this. Looks good. Complex. Continue. And now on this one, notice there are some little really faint green lines. Those are going to print, but those are just going to help you know right here where to fold it. They're not really going to score. I didn't set them, or we didn't set them up as score lines because we don't feel that you need to worry so much about that. So we'll just say continue. You can see that it's going to cut beautifully if you were just doing cuts, but we want to do print then cut. So select this, say upload. And then I can upload it into Cricut Design Space. And once again, this is the most important part that you must always, always do before you ungroup anything or try to do anything. Change the size. So right now, what size is it? The width is 6.549. In order for this to be the perfect size to fit on the card, you need to make it the size that it was designed at. So how do you know that size? Just look over here. Look right here in the layers panel. It tells you 6.292. Lock the lock. Change just the width. That's all I go with is the width. 292. Hit enter. And now that's a perfect one. We could say make it. Oh, and if you're wondering, how do I know what's going to cut on this? I can't really see very well. Don't forget that little tip of coming right down here where it says blank canvas. Click on that, and it doesn't look like much happened, but there's this little color swatch up here. You can click on that and make this a different color. Now, that's what the mat looks like, and the other stuff is what's going to cut. So now it's easy to see. This is going to cut in here. The antenna are going to cut. Everything's going to cut perfectly. So let's go to new, replace that. Let's look at one more. We'll go to, upload. Upload an image, browse. Let's look at, maybe you want to do the mom one. So you would go to the mom base. And again, you'll do mom for Cricut. And you'll say complex and continue. And continue. And now this is how it's going to cut, which is beautiful. So you're going to click on this print then cut and say upload. Okay. And if you want this card to be the exact size that it was planned to be, what do you have to do first before you do anything else? That's right. You have to change the size. Here's what we're going to change. Just the width. How do I know what to make it? I look right over here. It's 13.166. 13.166. And hopefully you're not thinking to yourself, but I thought you told me it was an 8.5 by 3.5 inch card. Well, it definitely is, but that's how much this whole rectangle measures. So what are we going to have to do now? Because this won't fit on a print then cut. See that little warning sign? Again, we need to come over here to the shape tool, grab a square, unlock. Whoopsie, where'd my square go? I meant to unlock the lock and I actually X'd it out. Unlock the lock and drag it over like that. And now I'm going to select two things, the back stuff and the box. Two things are selected. I can say slice. Get rid of this and get rid of this. X. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is the same with this one. I'm going to come to the shape tool, box, and unlock it, drag this out, slice these two things, slice, get rid of this, get rid of this. And there we have it. Perfect, just like this. So now everything's the right size and we can make it. That will go first. It will print and then you will cut it. This will print, then cut, print, and then cut. So that's it. That's how easy it is in Cricut Design Space 2 to make these things, print them out, decorate them, make them beautiful, make them your own, customize them. So I hope you like this first kit. We're so excited to be making these kits. We're enjoying ourselves and we hope you'll join us on our journey. So again, thanks for joining me and Bernie and Linda and Tammy and Stephanie, the Digi chicks. Thanks, you guys. Bye-bye.